Now, if you have an app idea or you want to build an online business, chances are you're probably looking for a developer, a coder to build that app or to build that website. I'm telling you, that's gonna cause you a world of pain. So in this video, I'm gonna be talking about the 5 reasons why you should not hire a developer to launch your business. Let's go. What's up everyone? Welcome back to the Startup Studio. My name's Christian Peverelli and I'm the co-founder of We Are No Code. We teach entrepreneurs how to launch their app businesses without writing a single line of code. And if this is your first time or you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It allows us to continue to create this awesome content that's gonna save you a bunch of valuable time and money. Okay, cool. So let's talk about the first reason why you shouldn't hire a developer. Now, the number one reason is it is super expensive. Hiring a developer can cost anywhere up to $200 per hour, or it can cost between $30,000 and hundreds of thousands of dollars to build that first app. Now, of course, not a lot of people have all that money to be throwing around, but even if you do, you should not be going in this direction. Now, more likely than not, you're also going to continually have more and more bills coming from your developer. It's the number one expense that people really spend money on early on in their startup businesses, and oftentimes it's unnecessary. Now, these people in general will be happy to build everything that you have in your mind, and unfortunately, that's not going to be a good idea. Now, I've trained more than 450 entrepreneurs from more than 23 countries, and I can tell you, there are so many big mistakes that you make down this road. Now, one entrepreneur came up to me one day, and that person was building an app that allowed you to earn credits when you walked and then claim those credits at local stores. Now, after a little bit of conversation, he had built out this beautiful app. It had cost so much money. He had even raised money from all of his friends because this person was relatively wealthy, but also had plenty of wealthy friends, someone very successful in the corporate world. And they had this awesome app. But as soon as I started understanding a little bit better what that individual was trying to do, I realized, oh my God, this person is not going to be able to monetize this product, and he had already spent $700,000 building out this awesome product just to figure out that it was going to have to be completely rebuilt to target the monetization strategy that he had in mind. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, hey, I could just hire cheap developers, overseas developers. Now, in my experience training so many startup founders, I can tell you, most people end up spending money overseas, going back and forth, creating an extremely buggy app that is completely unusable. We call it spaghetti code. And then, even though it's cheap, it's a complete waste of your money. So oftentimes it's a terrible solution for the fact that programmers are expensive. Now, if you're non-technical, I put a link below with a free course to teach you the step-by-step process to build your startup as a non-technical entrepreneur. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Reason number 2 why not to hire developers: you will most likely build the wrong thing at first. That is completely normal. In general, this is the thing that's happening so much in this industry at the moment. People have an idea in their mind of something awesome, then they hire a developer to build it, and they just then expect people to come when they launch it, which never happens. And then they hire people to do marketing because they believe that's the problem. They end up dead in the water, and they end up spending a year or two of their lives, all of their savings, with nothing to show for it. Let that not be you. Now, CB Insights found that the number one reason why startups fail is because there is no market need. So oftentimes we believe this is an awesome tool that people want, but a want and a need is a very different thing, right? And a need is what we're gonna have to target if we want people to pay for it. Now, it's totally fine to build the wrong thing at first or to target the wrong customer with that. But if you only have one shot at launching because you put all your money into developers, then that's gonna be a terrible outcome, right? And that's why at first we don't wanna build out that entire app. We wanna build a smoke test that's going to test the market demand. So the beliefs that we have behind these customers, we're gonna wanna put those customers to the test. Do customer discovery to understand what they actually say they want, then create a smoke test to test if that value proposition of what we were about to build, it really has demand behind it. Because if not, it's not gonna make sense to build that entire thing out. And through that process, you're gonna learn so much about what people actually are willing to pay for, that at least you're gonna be able to build the right thing. Now, the third reason why not to hire a developer early on in your startup is because translating your vision to a developer is going to lead to a huge amount of information being lost in translation. If you do not have technical skills, you don't understand the complexities in some of the things that you're asking your developers to do, and therefore it's constantly going to be a frustrating experience of trying to translate what it is that you have in your mind into an end product. And the other funny thing is that you don't have to build complex products to get things off the ground at first, right? And so it's much more important for you to actually take things into your own hands and to learn tools like no-code tools that are going to allow you to build out those first products, understand the process of building, and even hire the right people and ask for the right scope of work once you do bring people into your team to be a part of the technology development. And since we know that every single startup opportunity requires technical skills, building a website or an app or something like that, then it's much more important for you to take a handle of those things early on instead of just giving them to someone else. Every business is a software business, and as if you're an entrepreneur and you don't know anything about software, you will naturally have to learn a little bit, right? And so by learning no-code tools, you can actually craft your own vision the way that you want it, and then you're going to be able to hire the right people once the time comes. Now, the fourth reason not to hire a developer is because it's going to give you a really high burn rate, which is the amount of money that you spend on a monthly basis. Now, to put this into context, CB Insight found that the number 2 reason why startups fail is because they run out of money. That accounted for 29% of all cases. And remember that once you hire someone, you're going to be paying them until you fire them. And so we really don't want to put ourselves under that much financial pressure early on when we know that it takes a long time to figure out all the nuts and bolts of building a successful business. You don't want to put yourself under that much financial strain. Now, the 5th reason not to hire a developer is because it is like putting a band-aid on a gunshot wound. What do I mean by that? If you want to become an entrepreneur, you're going to have to learn technical skills. So if you're not a techie, if you don't know how to program, I highly recommend for you to learn some no-code tools to be able to launch your company regardless what it is that you're selling. Because every company being a software company means that you need to build a website, you need to build an app to get things off the ground, to distribute your product, to sell your product. Every single opportunity requires these skills. So it's very difficult to justify that we're entrepreneurs unless we have some of these basic technical skills in the modern world. So remember, whether you're trying to sell apples or sell software, you have to take responsibility for some of the technical things, even if you're not going to be your own chief technology officer in the long run. Now, an amazing quote that I love to remind myself of is that first-time entrepreneurs are really obsessed about products, building that app, building that website. Second-time entrepreneurs are really concerned around distribution. How can I get my product into the hands of more individuals? So if you want to learn more about how to build your business online, check out our website at We Are No Code, but please focus in on building the right things at the right time, and don't spend a bunch of money on expensive developers. You will thank me later. If you're enjoying this video, smash the like and subscribe button, share it, send us a comment, tell us what video you'd like for us to make next. We'd be happy to do so. I'll see you back in the startup studio next week. Have an awesome day and take care.